What up? It's your boy Jay Banksy coming back with another video, and today we got a very special video for y'all. I know I talk about a lot of hitters on this channel, whether it's like hitters like Ozuna, hitters like Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, David Ortiz, the rest of the lot. But there's a hittist, beyond hittist, that if I was making videos while they were playing, they would be in a league of their own, and that is Barry Bonds. So we got the man, Foolish Baseball. Make sure y'all go subscribe. Y'all see. Make sure y'all subscribe up to Foolish Baseball because we got a good one today. Barry Bonds being a super hittist.
Let's see. Balanced breakfast. Yeah. Stephen Colbert. Syringe emojis. Yeah. And asterisk. Yeah. There. I said it all, so you don't have to.
Yeah. Baseball bits. Let's get into it.
How do you talk about Barry Bonds? He certainly left behind a complicated legacy. An absolute titan of baseball for over 2 decades. He captivated the sport first as a power speed guy in the mold of his father, then later as the most ungodly combination of speed guy in the mold of his father, then later as the most ungodly combination of strength and discipline the game has ever seen. From 2001 to 2004. No, I gotta stop myself already. The years of 2001 to 2004 are a creative.
Ooh. Bro, that is like 200 home runs in the span of 4 years. That is unreal with high averages. See, y'all want me to put the Aaron Judge on the hitters list for hitting 11 homers while batting 225, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is hittist material. Like, this is beyond hitters. Like, we had the beyond hitters in Kike Hernandez back in 2021, the only one of its kind. But this is a level beyond that. I don't even know what to call that. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Trap for me. The numbers are so outrageous, I don't even have to do anything creative with them. We could just drool over these stat lines and use phrases like video game numbers for the next 10 to 15 minutes, and you'd probably still think it's a good video. That's why I'm opting for some self-imposed limits. In Barry Bonds' 22-year MLB career, he stepped into the batter's box 12,814 times. We're going to take a look at just 4 of those instances. Just 4 plate appearances to sum up what Barry Bonds meant to the game of baseball.
4 PAs?
Some at-bats I won't be doing a deep dive on are the home run chases. Number 71, no thanks. Number 756, not gonna do that one either.
What?
Another thing I won't dig deep on, Francisco Cabrera's single to left field in the 1992 NLCS. Bonds was named regular season MVP that year, but his throw was weak and just a little offline, allowing the Braves to advance to the World Series over Bonds' Pirates. That offseason, he would join the San Francisco Giants in free agency, and it was during that 15-year stretch in San Francisco where he would become baseball's version of an anti-hero. And he'd also take 4 plate appearances that I desperately want to talk about.
First off, before we even get to that part, I have been lucky enough to have seen Barry Bonds play. Yes, I was at Fenway Park when Barry Bonds played against the Boston Red Sox. Hold on, let's get to a good frame of Barry. There it is. I have been to Fenway Park on Father's Day back, I think it was the year Barry Bonds was going to retire, and I got to see him play on Father's Day. And the Red Sox, I believe, won like 9-6 or something like that. I got the scores right here. I'll pull it up. But I'm 5-0 at all Red Sox games, and I jot them down here. So Barry Bonds did, in fact, hit a home run. So I got to see Barry Bonds play, and he hit a home run. It was a legit day, Father's Day.
Hero. And he'd also take 4 plate appearances.
I'm gonna look those stats up right now.
Talk about.
Level 1, huh?
It's May 28th, 1998.
We got 8. He's gonna explain
Giants, bottom of the 9th. The Giants are trailing in an 8-6 ball game. There's 2 outs. The pitcher is Greg Olson, not that one, and Barry Bonds is.
All right, I just pulled it up. So it was 9-5. So right here, look, as you can see, look. Let's see if we get focus on it. Look. All right, 5-0. I'm home 4-0 on the road. As you know, I went to the Yankees game last year, but we got 9-5 Barry Bonds home run right there. I got the article right here. We lost the game. He lost the game at Fenway, but hit his 748th home run, and Tim Wakefield, God rest his soul, got the dub. So look, y'all. I don't be, there's no cap in my rap, bro. I'm telling you, I'm 5-0 at Red Sox games. I plan on staying that way if I go to a game this year.
Walking up to the plate with the bases loaded. Even in
loaded.
the midst of a Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa home run chase, Bonds still might be the guy you want most in this spot. Why? Because he was already the best player of the 90s. From 1990 to 1997, he led Major League Baseball in classic counting stats like home runs and RBI, as well as WAR. With all this in mind, let's ask the pressing question. Do you pitch to Bonds? As evidenced by the lengths pitchers went to avoid him, Bonds was indisputably the most feared hitter in MLB history. But the bases are loaded. It seems like
now
Greg
looking
Olson
back
has
on
been
it, bro,
backed
getting
into a corner.
the intentional
He
walk,
has
bro,
to pitch to Bonds,
was such an unnecessary thing, bro.
Manager Buck Showalter felt otherwise.
That he is based, and they're walking him with the bases loaded and intentional walk to Barry Bonds. Unbelievable.
That's
They
so
intentionally walked
unreal.
him with the bases loaded. We can't say for sure how many times this has actually happened.
Well, the thing is, you have to understand, like, with the bases loaded, you got to pitch to him anyway. Well, essentially, like, say if you're pitching to him, you got to throw one in the zone. And Barry Bonds could hit all zones. So it's better off to just, cut off a toe to spite the whole foot, if that makes sense.
Became, at the very least, the first hitter intentionally walked with the bases full since World War II ended. Bonds' career is synonymous with the intentional
Why
free
you say
pass,
it like that?
But this was 1998. His intentional walk season was 2004, when managers outright refused to pitch to him on 120 occasions.
120, bro? That's damn near one a game. Oh my
Three
goodness.
seasons for intentional walks, and his 120 in 2004 dwarfs Willie McCovey's 45 in 1969. For his career, he had more than twice as many as the next
double
guy,
in
Albert
Pujols.
Pujols, and he had more intentional bases on balls than Hall of Famers Nap Lajoie, Roberto Clemente, Pudge Rodriguez, and Andre Dawson.
Is that actually how you say it? Lajoie? I thought it was LaJoie. Nap LaJoie. All right, but that's crazy though.
In general,
688.
But was walking Bonds the correct choice? Let's take a closer look. Charlie Hayes and JT Snow represent the tying and winning runs respectively.
It's two
likely
outs.
below
I would say
runners,
yeah.
But let's assume they're average. According to Tom Tango, about 2/3 of runners score from second with 2 outs on a single, and about half score from first on a double. If we use Bonds' 1998 splits versus right-handed pitching to him theoretically yields a 30% chance to at least tie, and an 11.7% chance to walk off an 8-6 ball game. And I should say, this is quick and dirty math that disregards the possibility of, say, a wild pitch or passed ball. The batter the Diamondbacks chose to face instead was journeyman catcher Brent Mayne. If you use Mayne's career splits versus right-handed pitching and assume he won't be walked, Mayne would have a 26.7% chance to at least tie the 8-7 ball game. That's lower than Bonds, but his chances of walking off are greater at 19.8%. So, from a purely statistical perspective, Bonds is more likely to drive in the tying run from second than Mayne is from driving in the tying run from third. Even though Mayne theoretically has a greater chance to walk it off, walking Bonds with the bases loaded gives the Diamondbacks the better chance at winning in the 9th inning.
The worst part is you got to tie.
What was the outcome of Mayne's at bat?
Bro, why did it feel like, this was like a whole marathon? Like, bro, he caught that ball and was like getting home after a long day of work, like a 12-hour day, man.
Arizona has won in dramatic fashion.
A couple other notable hitters have been intentionally walked with the bases loaded. The aforementioned Nap Lajoie earned his free pass in 1901, and Josh Hamilton was given the Bonds treatment 10 years later. What did these freak occurrences have in common?
That's kind of insane, though. With the
team
with
issuing
the bases loaded down
intentional
4,
walk won the game. The numbers don't make it abundantly clear that
it's only weird if it doesn't work.
And I would also like to point out that Brent Mayne got unlucky here. His line out to right field is similar to this one by Jonathan Villar, which had a .462 expected batting average, as well as this one from Max Kepler, which had an 83% chance of dropping for a hit based on the exit velocity and launch angle. All three just happened to hit it, more or less, directly at the right fielder. But that's also not really the point. Buck Showalter didn't know any of this math. He did know, however, that Barry Bonds scared the bejeebus out of him, and that was enough to force him into a desperate decision.
Heck yeah.
Let's talk about what happens when you pitch to Barry Bonds instead.
Level 2. Let's do it.
It's October 20th, 2002. Game 2 of the
World
Series.
Series.
And Angels. The Giants are leading the series having taken Game 1, but trail 11-9 in Game 2 with 2 outs in the 9th. Those 2 outs are in thanks to Troy Percival forcing flyouts from Rich Aurelia and Jeff Kent. But it's Barry Bonds' turn to hit, and he's at his absolute peak powers. Then again, so is Troy Percival. From his debut in 1995 through 2002, he was one of only 5 pitchers to strike out 30% of batters faced, and his 2002 might have been his finest season on record, earning MVP votes in the process. Do you pitch to Bonds? You have to. If Bonds reaches base, the tying run comes to the plate. You don't want that. Troy Percival has to get after Barry Bonds. That's easier said than done, not since the great Ted Williams had a hitter control the strike zone like Bonds, and he takes strike 1 on a pitch outside.
Dang.
Percival can't walk Bonds. He has to throw this next pitch in the strike zone. So he does.
Hey. Barry, the thing is, Barry knew that though. I don't know why he didn't throw like a changeup in that mug.
Bonds annihilates this baseball an estimated 485 feet into the right field bleachers. The scoreboard changes before it even lands. The camera cuts to Angels star outfielder Tim Salmon, who says it's the furthest hit ball he's ever seen. It's the type of blast that would have easily ended up in McCovey Cove.
I wish I
never an easy out.
What are they doing? I'm selling. My B. Hold on. Bro, imagine oh man, I really wish I could have went to more games of Barry Bonds. There's no one on the equivalent level of Barry Bonds today. And I'm just being honest. Ohtani, all right, cool. He hits a lot of homers, but Barry Bonds was just an auto, yeah, he's going yard, bro. Ohtani hits home runs, don't get me wrong, but
it's the type of blast
this is video game homers, bro.
Cove, we're at Bonds' home ballpark. Instead, the ball attempts to exit the park via a tunnel halfway up the bleachers. The Angels Stadium crowd grows restless,
but
the score remains
bro.
11-10. Percival retires Benito Santiago to even up the series, but Bonds sends a powerful message. He'll be walked 13 times before the series is over, 7 intentionally. He'll also hit 4 home runs.
See, that's what I mean. No one's doing that. No one. Even when you get intentionally walked, okay, but you still hit 4 homers. And the series
will ultimately culminate in the highest OPS in any postseason run with a minimum of 40 plate appearances. An absolutely historic effort.
Hall of Famers.
Bonds was a man possessed. This was the best chance he'd get to win a ring. Bonds had previously lost 3 consecutive National League Championship Series with the Pirates in the early 90s. No doubt, he was frustrated by that when he decided to leave town and head west to San Francisco.
Should have went to the Red Sox,
Bonds' 2002 World Series performance
as long as he didn't go to the Yankees.
But the Giants failed to rally around him. Troy Percival closed the series in Game 7. And with that, the Anaheim Angels of California of Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim won the World Series. In some ways, baseball is a selfish, individual sport, a series of one-on-ones between the batter and the pitcher who has a monopoly over the baseball itself. That veneer strips away to reveal that baseball is, in fact, the ultimate team game. James Harden could take as many shots as he wants, but Barry Bonds only occupies one of 9 spots in the batting order. The best player of our current generation has appeared in just 3 playoff games, but all that...
And he's 1-11. And he still only appeared in 3 playoff games. And this video was made 4 years ago. 4 years ago. He's not the best player. His best ability is availability. And if he's not available, he's not the best.
Won't make Bonds feel any better about losing this series. As the Angels celebrate on the field, the Fox cameras eagerly cut to Bonds' face, hoping to capture a moment of frustration or despair. It isn't enough that the Angels have won. The American public demands evidence that there's a loser.
Why you getting Dusty Baker's kid like that? Why they doing Dusty Baker's son like that?
Art has been ripped out. He sits in the shadows of the Giants' dugout, stoic. Bonds and the media always had it out for each other. Years after his retirement, Bonds would own up to some of his past transgressions, describing his actions as flat out dumb. That relationship, or lack thereof, did Bonds no favors in the wake of the Balco scandal. In just a few years' time, he would become the face of the league-wide steroid era.
Eric Gagne, I know that face.
It's April 16th, 2004. Dodgers at Giants. Bottom of the ninth, 1 out, and a runner on first. Dodgers are leading 3-0. Once again, Barry Bonds lumbers up to the plate. This is early in Bonds' 2004 season, in which he put up the highest on-base percentage and OPS
That's
in MLB
unbelievable,
history.
bro.
Once again, you could make an entire
over
video
Ted
about
Williams
the numbers
and
on the
Babe
screen,
Ruth, bro.
but I want to talk about Eric Gagne. In 2003, Gagne put up arguably the greatest relief pitcher season of all time.
Eric Gagne
he
was a
became the only
pitchist.
pitcher in
He's
MLB
like Mason
history
Miller.
to throw 70 innings and post a sub-1 FIP. That's short for fielding independent pitching.
Just wait, Mason Miller on the way. Mason
He
Miller
also
on
struck
the
out
way.
44% of all batters faced, won the
Mason
Cy Young
Miller
Award,
on the way.
and threw a round white ball at speeds over 100 miles per hour.
That's Mason
so on
Miller.
one side you have Gagne coming off arguably the greatest relief season ever, and Bonds entering arguably the greatest hitting season ever. The unstoppable force and immovable object are about to meet. So, do you pitch to Bonds? Of course you do. Gagne doesn't want the tying run to come to the plate, and he's, Eric Gagne. By the way, Gagne admitted to eating a balanced breakfast every morning as well, so this is a fair matchup even if you don't like players eating healthy foods. The first pitch is a 98-mile-per-hour four-seamer that Bonds pulls foul. Gagne then decides to go inside, just catching the edge of the strike zone with another heater. Bonds is quickly behind 0-2. 0 balls and 2 strikes is not a friendly count for anybody. It turns superhumans into scrubs. Mike Trout doesn't hit like Mike Trout after an 0-2 count for his career, and neither did Bonds. But during that terrifying...
Why are we comparing Mike Trout to Barry Bonds? Can we stop with this nonsense?
From 2001 to 2004, he raked. He still slugged over 600 after an 0-2 count. How the f*** do you get this guy out? But Gagne has an ace up his sleeve. After 2 heaters, he turns to his slow curve. Oh my
gosh, how did he not? Oh, you know what also helped too? Like, real baseball players know, like, the best hitters always got the benefit of the doubt. Like you see that? Like, I'm gonna be honest, like 1000%.
After 2 heaters, he turns to his.
That could go like I'm saying, that could go either way. Like, if he called this strike 3, we're not gonna shrug our shoulders. We're gonna shrug our shoulders at it. But it's kind of under the what do you call that? Like the rule that, like, if a good hitter takes it, it's probably a ball. So Barry Bonds, of course, being a super-hittist, probably got the benefit of the doubt.
Bonds just spits on it.
That might have been a little outside.
25 miles per hour slower than his fastball, and Bonds has the audacity
Mason Miller,
to take
bro.
this pitch mere centimeters below the zone. In 2002, Barry Bonds and Eric Gagne were in Japan on an all-star tour. Bonds frequently complained about not getting pitches to hit. Gagne said, "You know what? If I get a 3-run lead one time and I come in, I'll face you." Bonds said, "All right, all fastballs?" Gagne replied, "No, not all fastballs. I can use one off-speed." Gagne has just used his off-speed. The 4th pitch is a fastball taken inside. Gagne continues to challenge Bonds, who fouls off a pitch up and in.
That's so crazy. You know how Gagne bro, this reminds me of like a movie, like a movie where it's like the protagonist and the antagonist going back and forth, and then they're like cut to a flashback of like them predicting this, and then like it finally coming up in the final battle.
Gagne has just used his off-speed.
And plus the Dodgers and the Giants is such a big rivalry.
Inside.
Oh,
Gagne
that's so
continues
sick.
to challenge Bonds, who fouls off a pitch up and in. Both dugouts are absolutely fixated on this matchup. They know they're witnessing something special.
Bro, whoever that dude is walking in the back, you fake, bro.
That wasn't part of the gentleman's agreement. He lets another fastball rip.
Foul
That's
ball.
up in the water, but, that's a
Dang.
The broadcast claims 99 miles per hour, but the stadium radar gun reads 101. Bonds, knowing that the fastball is coming,
and that's down and in. You know how fast that is to get your hands down there in like less than half a second?
Early on 101 miles per hour. But he wasn't early for what came next.
center field, hit well. This baby's gonna go.
Shout out Eric Gagne for throwing all fastballs.
Miles per hour. Wow.
Gagne would go on to win the game, extending a save streak that eventually reached 84 without a blown save.
That's crazy.
But this at-bat, man,
you win the battle but lose the war.
Of baseball history as one of the greatest batter-pitcher matchups ever captured on video.
Oh, absolutely.
It's raw power on raw power. The perfect example of everything right and everything wrong with baseball in this era.
Wow,
At the end of the 2004 season, Bonds would take home his 4th consecutive MVP award. No other player in MLB history has won more than 3 for their entire career.
Ohtani.
It's September 26, 2007, the last home game of a disappointing San Francisco Giants season, as they currently sit at the bottom of the NL West standings. Bonds had passed Hank Aaron in August, but had been taking it easy on a non-contending team. This was his first game in 11 days. As luck would have it, this will be his 3rd at-bat versus Jake Peavy, who is concluding a triple-crown Cy Young season with the Padres.
Jake Peavy was nasty,
Peavy
bro.
had gotten the best of
Backyard
Bonds their
baseball,
first
what
2
y'all know about
matchups,
Jake
forcing
Peavy,
2
bro?
groundouts. Hopefully Bonds will do better this time around. Do you pitch to Bonds? Well, he's 43 years old and you're a Triple Crown winner with a 7-run lead. I'm thinking that's a yes. But Bonds is never an easy out, and he takes control of the situation by taking Peavy's first 2 pitches for balls. While an 0-2 count is nearing a death sentence for the hitter, 2-0 is a gargantuan advantage.
2-0?
In Bonds' career, over half of his at-bats that reached a 2-0 count ended in a walk. When they reached that point, the opposing pitchers collectively said, I'm just going to walk him. But Jake Peavy won't.
Take that
He
L.
challenges Bonds.
Ooh, that's going on at Yankee Stadium,
Bonds
though.
just misses a home run to the deepest part of the park. He embraces Peavy, removes his helmet, and exits to a standing ovation.
That's so insane. Oh, you're Jake Peavy, bro. Like,
Bonds just misses a home run to the deepest part of the park. He embraces Peavy, removes his helmet, and exits to a standing ovation.
Yo.
We didn't know it at the time, but that was the last plate appearance of Barry Bonds' career.
No way!
2 days earlier, the New York Times had reported that Bonds wouldn't be returning to San Francisco that offseason, but his 2007 slash line was still absurd, highlighted by a .480 on-base percentage. No player has reached that mark since. Not Mike Trout, not Joey Votto, none of them. Nobody has reached a .480 on-base percentage.
The Mike Trout glaze is
crazy.
There
were a variety of reasons why the Giants wouldn't want Bonds back. He was embroiled in a PED scandal, seen as a clubhouse cancer, and the Giants weren't particularly competitive at the time. While the 43-year-old Bonds was a headache and perhaps no longer a good choice to play the field, there were American League contenders that could have used his services. The Angels won 100 games without a huge contribution from their designated hitters. Compare that to Bonds' 2008 ZiPS projection, and he could have made a great team even better. The Rays ended up winning the pennant, but entered Game 1 of the World Series with Willie Ibar as their designated hitter? Kind of a wild move when Bonds was willing to play for a league minimum salary.
Why Willie Ibar getting a stray?
But 400 on base percentage is 400 on base percentage. Barry Bonds could have helped your team in 2008, and potentially beyond, but ball clubs didn't want anything to do with the disgraced home run champion. He had pushed the game to its absolute limit, and the only thing that could stop him was the fallout. An unceremonious conclusion to a fabled career. On the day Bonds took his last swing, fashion designer Mark Ecko, who had acquired the record-breaking 756 ball, announced that it would be branded with an asterisk, an entire legacy.
No way! Is that what actually happened? What?
756 ball, and fashion designer Mark Ecko, who had acquired the record-breaking 756 ball, announced that it would be branded with an asterisk.
Why have I never heard of this? Nah, that's wild, bro. That's wild, bruh. That means they didn't do it. They didn't do it for A-Rod. They didn't do it for nobody. Man, that's some bull, man. What the heck?
An entire legacy defaced. Bonds has had to grapple with his failed pursuits of a World Series ring, de facto exile from his playing career, a perjury case that went to court, as well as a Hall of Fame candidacy left in the hands of the media members he so greatly despised. Meanwhile, the commissioner of the sport, who turned a blind eye to and ultimately benefited from the steroid era, has had no such trouble obtaining a Cooperstown plaque. Even in this moment, Bonds is robbed of a storybook ending, as this fly ball comes up just short.
They were playing at Yankee Stadium.
Described himself as a ghost, rattling around an empty house. His specter still looms over the entire sport. Throughout his 22-year career, no one has questioned Barry Bonds' love for the game of baseball. It was everything else that gave him pause. But does baseball love him back? And has he done enough to deserve that embrace? You'll have to decide for yourself. And that was Bonds in 4.
Wow. I don't know if there's anything after that. Yeah, but wow, bro. Like, this was a great video, bro. Like, Barry Bonds was that dude, bro. I don't care what nobody says. Like, put him in the hall, bro. Like, he deserves it. And like, we all know that he would still be, you know, who he is regardless of what he did, like steroids or not, man. Like, it's just a shame, bro. But if I ever saw Barry Bonds in real life, I'd go up and shake his hand, because what he did for the game of baseball to make baseball literally larger than life. Like, baseball was popping because of Barry Bonds and, you know, teams like, you know, the rivalry, Yankees, Red Sox, and all that stuff. But yeah, man, we got this new era coming in, and, you know, we're trying to carry the torch. But like I said, there will be no one else like Barry Bonds, the super-hittist. But yeah, bro. Let me know what other videos y'all want me to watch. And, yeah, man, hopefully we can end up getting to them. But, yeah, man, this was a great one. Shout out to, what's the name? Shout out to Foolish Baseball, man. Make sure y'all go sub up, man. Do what y'all got to do. It's been your boy, Jay Banksy. And I'll see you when I see you. Peace.